Guys on a tripod, get you all set up. You see that crap? Ain't too bad. Alright. Okay, that's not too shabby. Let me see, get this fired up on a laptop so I can show you guys. I got this still turned down from Hunter's Hangout the other night. Alright, live. Is that my face? Yeah. I don't want this volume. Negatory. Alright. Started on this guy. Finished my Frankenstein skull. Move this chair. Let me see. I gotta be able to do comments. What's up, John? You're signed out of YouTube. Got it. I want to sign in. Okay. Top chat. Live chat. So that's everybody. Okay, cool. So yeah, I figured it's Saturday, and man, I got home early from the freaking night job. It's like, man, let's do some freaking work, man. I started on this guy. So I finished my Frankenstein skull. He's sitting out in the garage cooling off so I can mold him down the road. But I figured, man, I want to do my second skull. This guy's going to be a jawless NOSFERATU skull. He's cold. I just pulled him out of the trunk. So all the clay is cold again. But I started this guy. He's just on a... Oh, shit. Oh, he's on a mixing cup I found behind my compressor at the shop. That's all he is. So I'm going to go ahead and sculpt around top of a mixing cup. And I'll just have to, like, break it off when it's time to get him ready for molding. And he's getting there. I've been using... Where's that other human skull? Right there. So I've just been sort of looking at this guy. This is just a human skull off Amazon. I've been kind of using as a little reference to rough him out. But I wanted this guy to have a peaked head. I wanted him to have a sloped, kind of gnarly head. I want real deep eyes on him, like Max Shrek. That really cool NOSFERATU look. And I'll go ahead and I'll give him. I'll do resin fangs again so I can plug him in later. But this is all that white clay I did from my little helmet thing. So I figure, hey, let's do some sculpting. Everybody's getting ready for Trans World. I'm sure everybody's freaking bored. What's up, Jamie? What's up, Brother Az? What's up, Al? I'm not a Chinese scammer. I hope not, Jamie. Hell, there's really nothing to scam here. Yeah, worked on this guy a little bit earlier, and then, man, we got done so fast, like, wow, like, time to go home. So it's like, cool, I'll jump on a live stream tonight, play around a little bit. Yeah, I want to do a whole series of skulls, man. I want to do, my Frankenstein's done. I want to do a NOSFERATU, and I want to do a cool Wolfman. I don't want to do like a Lon Chaney version, because I was never really a big fan of Lon Chaney's Wolfman. I think that's probably my least favorite Universal Monsters movies. I just like long-nosed Wolfman, I don't know. Plus, Lon Chaney had that big, round, stupid freaking pie face, so just not a big fan. So I want to do a cool, like, fantasy underbite Wolfman after I get this guy done. And then maybe down the road, like a Gillman of some kind, I thought would be cool. But I haven't even got to tool this guy yet. I'm still kind of just mashing clay on his head. Yeah, he's getting there. I want to build up his dome some. I want to build up back here and give him that little thing. So I got to slap some more clay on this guy. So I was actually digging around in my cabinet, and I found a brick of white clay, which is like $5 at frickin' Hobby Lobby now. So that's what I use, guys. Some people ask me, like, what clay do you use? It's just Hobby Lobby, Van Aken, Plastilina. And this is just white. The color has nothing to do with anything special. It's just white clay. I cannibalized another sculpt I had last year that I already molded, and I found some extra white clay I had in the baggie. So, again, this is all oil-based clay. It's not lead. No, not now. So that way, if I don't finish this guy for 3 months, 4 months, he can sit. He's not going to crack. I don't have to put a wet towel on him. I don't have to mess around with the cold weather outside. He's done. I don't have to worry about it. I can let him sit. Worst I have to do is burn off the grease and oil and little dust bunnies and stuff that lands on him. All right, get you 2 minutes in and then go. I'm not a Chinese scammer. What's up, Chris? What's up, Jay? Yeah, I figured it'd be, cool, Jay, just to get on, jump on a little bit, do some sculpting, put some meat on this guy's head. Like I said, I want to do sort of like a cool series. Like you guys know, I love my monster makers, man. I've used their molds to death. I think they're awesome. Steve and Melanie are great freaking people. And I think it's just time I like start sculpting my own skulls, man. Like, but I don't want to do what they do. You know, they do it so well. There's no need for me to do that. I kind of want to make my own skulls, and then you know, I'll bring them to MHC or whatever. I'll bring a couple up there, or somebody wants to do like a Frankenstein display or whatever. I'm planning on doing like a cool Frankenstein display. I'm gonna each one of these guys' heads in a cloche, and do some kind of cool display around them or something like that. So that's sort of my plans. That's why I wanted to do this for like the longest time, man. But yeah, I want that domed kind of sloped head. I just love that look how gnarly it is on NOSFERATU. So I'm sticking pretty close to reference, which is just a human skull off Amazon for anatomy. And I'm going to start pushing and stretching the lines. I want deeper hollows and all that stuff. So I'm just using that little guy to look at.
Hey, Azekol Bradshaw.
That's Ezekiel, not Azekol. I know he's like third world, but he can understand English. So speaking out in first world language, he can understand.
Well, he said hey Savage first, so shout out to him.
Shout out to Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Savage is in the house. And fired up. Must be the Mountain Dew.
I don't drink Mountain Dew.
Okay. Keith, no, you said that to me in a comment. Oh. Your second friend request, Jamie. So I get friend requests from people that I'm already friends with. And if I get a second one, I always consider it a Chinese scammer or somebody who picked up a profile picture, copied it, made a second one. Why they do that, I don't know. I've never been hacked on Facebook. I see a lot of people say, "Oh, you know, I got hacked. Don't accept any friend requests from me." So if I'm already friends with somebody, I never accept a second request unless they message me and say, "Hey, man, I closed down my Facebook account. I got a new one. I canceled the old one." Well, then I'm cool with that, you know, because you never know. Because so many people have multiple profiles. It's like I can't keep up with that stuff, man. Then you have like 6,000 friends on your list, and like only 40, 2 of them are actually real, because the rest are all old profiles that people have kept or hung on to. So that's why I say anybody who's got a second profile, or I get a profile from a friend I'm already friends with, scammer. It's somebody trying to scam.
I can't get this open.
What is it? It's a push pop. Give me a hammer, I'll open it. Well, you gotta wait till I'm on stream to ask these questions.
This is 2 years
You wanna live
old.
any life too while I'm on stream? I don't care.
This is 2 years old.
Whatever it is bogus. Yeah, typical savage being savage. Like, hey, let's do some homework while we're in the middle of a live stream.
Who wants to go to
What was
a
the
circus?
Peloponnesian War about? Congratulations, I don't know.
You want to go to a circus?
I live in the circus. I don't need tickets. I'm already here. Beat it. Go do something. Let's see. Jamie says, "I'm surprised you aren't going to Transworld." So here's the thing about Transworld. It was a blast. I loved it last year. It was exciting. It was awesome. It was more than I could even take in. But, I was there last year. So I'm going to take a year off. I got some other stuff going on. Other bills. And Transworld, man, as much as I love going, it's a spend fest. Like, you're talking $600, $700, $800 in a hotel. You're talking food. You're talking gas. And last year was crazy. I think last year I paid $5.39 a gallon of gas to go down there. Hotel is expensive. Food, you don't even eat like a normal person. You gotta try and get food during the daytime, unless you're gonna eat, beer for dinner at the bar over at the Marriott, which is cool too. That's fine. But when you got the girlfriend of the kid, you got actual meals. Can't live like a savage, unfortunately. But if Vic was traveling, we would totally live like pigs. But I wanted to go, but I'm just gonna sit back and watch the video. And then maybe next year Ezekiel will be able to go so we can all hang out. Got a lot of vendor friends up there this year, so that's cool. So hopefully next year we'll make it down there. But I want to kind of concentrate on MHC this year, because I'm definitely planning on being MHC and vending there. So that's kind of my bigger prize right now. And then, like last year, making sure, I forgot all the shit I ordered at Transworld, making sure I even got it. And it dawned on me, I was going through my paperwork today from Transworld last year. It's like I got my Pumpkin Pulp stuff, I got my Gorgalore stuff. And it's like, shit, man, it's like, I ordered a freaking head form from David Mosher last year. I never got it. And then I went to look up the old PayPal thing. It was December of 21. It's 23 now. So I had to message that guy on Facebook. So found him, messaged him, and if I don't hear back, and I gave him my PayPal receipt, whatever, sent him a screenshot of it, well, you guys are going to see some shit going on in Cowboys. If I don't get my damn head form already, I'm going off. It's getting old. I hate when you order something from a vendor and then you don't get it, or they don't even acknowledge you. It's like, man, oh hell no. So I'm gonna be pretty salty over these next couple of days if this guy doesn't get back to me. So if I go to war with David Mosher, you guys know what it's all about in the comments on Facebook. That's not cool. It's like, if you make something and you took the order and I put the money in and nothing. I've already contacted him like 2 or 3 times. Now the website's down. There's no way to get a hold of me. The 2 or 3 times I already contact company, and I got nothing back. So this already isn't going good for him, I can tell you that much. So not a fan of David Mosher so far. I'm kind of getting pissed off. So
He's verbal.
Shut up, you don't know. All right. Jay says, I'm here for it, man. Helps inspire me from designs I'm working on. That's cool, Jay, man. If you're working on something, man, put it on Cobwebs. I want to see. I love seeing your guys' work, man. Like, seriously. Just see what other people post and how they look at things. Man, that stuff just, it makes my mind go into, like, fast forward, so I start thinking of new stuff, you know? Because my head's always spinning out. He's got something going on where it's like, man, that would be cool. What if he tried this? Or I see a prop that somebody made. Like, man, what if he twisted it and did it like this? So for me, man, it's like I'm constantly inspired by different stuff. And I love seeing what everybody else is doing. Because, if you take 5 people and you say, okay, build a witch, 5 people are going to build 5 different witches. And that's freaking awesome, man. I love that. So I just love seeing what everybody else does, man. That stuff never fails to amaze me, how somebody can look at something and be like, man, I can't believe they come up with that. Like, how freaking cool is that, man? Oh, shit, I'm dropping clay. All right, I got it. Yeah, no trans world for me this year. Jamie said, I got rid of my old accounts. Okay, I'll double check on it. What's up, Norm? How's that knee doing, man? But I figured, yeah, it's kind of a slow night, It's like we're home early, which is a real rarity on a Friday night. I was working on this guy earlier tonight, so I'm like, hey, you know what, man? I'll jump on and I'll work on NOSFERATU. Like I said, I'm going to do resin fangs. Once I get them close and dialed in, I'll do resin fangs for this guy. Because if you try and mold fangs into a skull like this and make them down out here, your mold's going to be this extra deep. And with resin, anytime you even with stone molds like latex, anytime you have a fine point on something, there's always a goddamn air bubble in the bottom. So the tip of your teeth never come out. So it's like I'll mold them in resin and make a bunch of sets up. That way, if they snap off, I can pull them out and put a second set in. But I also want to do, I don't want to do just a plain vampire skull, because what's a plain vampire skull going to be? It's just going to look like this with 2 sharp teeth and where the canines are. So I thought, that's kind of cheesy. But this guy, I thought, when I get him done, also, like how Alan says, you make one skull, but you get multiple uses out of it. Or like Little Connor Beats. Well, I've been watching you, brother. That kid is freaking killing it, man. He's just banging out math. He did this really cool math with a big grin. And I'm like, oh, man, that totally looks like freaking Joker. So it's sort of the same concept. For this guy, I thought, well, maybe down the road I can make him a regular skull. I could put no teeth in there. And if he's rigid foam, I could shave the top of the head down a little bit and just make him look like a regular skull. Or do a regular vampire. I could just move some teeth out here versus the 2 center ones. So I think I can kind of flip him into like a multi-use skull and get maybe like 2 or 3 different uses out of him. I don't know. But I'm always kind of thinking about that stuff, like, yeah, what can I do with this? How can I make this different? When I go to shows, I don't see any like Nightmare Maker skulls that are like monster skulls. So it's like, okay, I can do that. I got to be the first. Yeah, man, this stuff is freaking cold, man. That's where I use my palms to heat it up. Hope I don't crush this damn plastic cup that's underneath there. Put these over here. But yeah, I got my other stuff ready to mold. So I went ahead and now, I remember I showed you guys how I was using like little dishes from the thrift shop and stuff, Well, if you put like one guy in a dish, you lose a lot of extra silicone around him. So these are like the buttons from Savage's snowman tower that I did. I'm gonna like just gang mold these guys together. So these three guys will be a mold. These guys will be one big mold, and I'll cut them into smaller molds. Because every time you build a mold wall around something, you lose a little bit of silicone around the edge. And silicone's ungodly expensive, man. And I got a serious silicone habit. So like these guys, these are gonna be my Frankenstein's little staples for his head. And I'll rust those. And these are his teeth on the bottom, all his lower teeth, plus a couple of extras I made. I'll mold them just to have random teeth to plug into something else. I think if you guys were watching the cobwebs, I think I showed the little beads I made. These little skull guys. I'm going to put those guys in one mold so I can have more custom beads that are a little bit bigger than the other ones I have. And I think I've shown all these sculpts on the Facebook group for you guys. So, I love making teeth, man. So Frankenstein will have separate teeth. This guy will have separate teeth. And I can just plug them in later and then change them out if I want to. I can make multiple versions real fast. I just dig making teeth, man. I don't know what it is. Come on, what? I keep spreading this around. I gotta build up a little more in here. See, I want them a little fatter on the side of the noggin. So I want them to almost have like almost like a second skull on top of this skull, almost like alien-like. Still hard time, Norm? Yeah, it's going to take a minute, brother, I'm sure. A sculpture, the original Mr. Barlow from Salem's Lot would be cool. You know, John, Jerusalem's Lot, man, that was a great freaking movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I've been kind of wanting to go back and re-watch that, So many people do that mask, and they do it well. Like, hell, my guy from, where's my vampire at? Is he in the other room? Sean Topping Designs, he sculpts for Beastcraft. So I went to him. And his vampire looks like Mr. Barlow. I think Closed Casket Studios does one. A lot of people do it, so I kind of tend to stay clear. Because so many people do that mask so well, and the freaking yellow eyes, It's a great looking mask. I don't know where the hell my vampire is at. I think it's in the back bedroom. But if somebody does it really good, there's really no sense in me doing it unless I'm hell-bent on that character. I do want to do my own Yeti eventually, like another big full trophy head, So, Jimmy says, Keith, you should report him to PayPal for fraud and scam. I'm going to give him a chance to come clean first, Jamie. I always do, even though it's been a year and I've heard people have had a lot of problems with that guy, that he takes forever or that he doesn't deliver. But again, just like with Midnight Studios Effects or anybody I order from, I always want to give them the chance first to, make things right. Before I go after and get on their ass. I think it's just, fair. And granted, I'm not real thrilled about it because it's been over a year, so chances are he took the money and spent it. Now the websites are down, so I can't get a hold of anybody. So looks like we got a couple of similar friends. So I'm just going to go after him on Facebook, man. Like, dude, just refund me or send me my damn head form, Like, what can you do? A lot of people, it just seems like it sucks that people will take money for something and then never deliver, especially on Facebook. There's a lot of mask makers that like to do that, but there's a lot of guys who are really good, man. You pay for something like Sean, who sculpts for Beastcraft, from Sean Topping Designs. Order a couple masks. That dude call me every couple of weeks. Hey, man, I'm waiting on latex, or I'm getting ready to paint. Or that guy was just overkill nice, man. He was awesome. Just a pleasure to deal with. That's a guy who cares about his name, and I'm sort of the same way. I don't like bullshit. If I say I'm going to deliver something, I do my damnedest. I hate to give people excuses. It drives me nuts because I don't like hearing excuses either. But I'm going to give this guy a chance to make it right. Either he's got one laying around or he can whip one up for me and send it to me because I'm far past the time of waiting. A year and a month, almost 2 months. No, it's almost February. So it's basically a year and 2 months, 14 months. It's like, come on, man. Like, I can't be the only one. If it's not, it's probably not just me. It's probably a lot of people, What's up, Harry? Yeah, before I jump on, haven't really done any videos lately. Just been kind of sculpting and stuff for myself and doing some projects for MAC. I got a bunch of videos planned coming up. I want to do resin eyeballs for you guys and show you how I make them. And Haunter's Hangout's on now. The season started, so I'm a sponsor for that. So I'm kind of trying to make some extra stuff for Haunter's Hangout. So just been freaking busy. Just, all kinds of extra stuff going on. Plus our weather just sucks. Cold. We got a bunch of snow. It's kind of lingering around. Let's see. This guy just needs more noggin. Right there. I need to flare that out. Yeah, just so you guys know I'm alive, and I'm just working on random shit. Trying to up my game and get better. But we got some shows coming up this summer, so I want to bring a lot of cool stuff for people. Oh, that one's empty. Time to bust into the big bar. So I don't come up with the same old shit year after year. It's like, who wants to come to my booth and see the same crap they saw last year? Not me, I want new stuff. Plus the old crap if I got some laying around. I need a... Kind of looks like a monkey a little bit. A little monkey skull. I've actually got a monkey skull right there. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the old school stuff, man. I think NOSFERATU's got such a cool shaped head. It's like, yep, I want to make that. And do just a whole series of like monster skulls. Oh, son of a bitch. There we go. Yeah. Put that in there. If I don't lose it, then I'll lose it. Should have brought my cutter in the house, but I didn't bring it. Yeah, I want that to flare out some. Then once I get all this, once I think I get enough clay on here, then I'll start raking them out and giving it some shape. But I gotta put enough clay on there first. And pinch it on, just takes a minute. See, so I actually want to be bigger than this. If I do it in resin, it'll want to shrink a little bit, so I want more of that egg head. See, that I like. I'm going to go a little bit more out here. So he's not a total cone head, looks like he's something from the jungle, but I want to build it up a little bit. And I got extra clay down here for the ear bones. So let's keep on going. And we'll slap some clay back here. Yeah, so I want that thing. I actually want it to kind of ramp up and almost double hump a little bit. I just love to look at that Max Shrek head in NOSFERATU. Camera's going dark light again. I have no idea how to fix that, Jamie. It's just going to have to do it. I don't know if it's the lights. I turned my cabinet light off. I'm not on my... It seemed like when I was on my laptop for Haunter's Hangout, this laptop that I'm reading comments off of, it didn't seem like it blinked or played the games. It's got to be some setting on my camera that I just don't know about or know how to fix it, so I'm just going to let it roll. I can see in the screen it's doing this shit or whatever. I don't know if it's too much white and it's blowing out or whatever, but... You know, Chris, I was watching a video the other day on YouTube, like Mask Fest. It's actually in Indianapolis, an hour and a half south of me. And it's mostly masks. And there was a lot of good masks in there, like badass masks. Like Mikey Severe was there from Nightmare Force. Just everybody. And I thought, man, Thomas Kubler was there. So he brought this display that was like $25,000. I thought, holy shit. That guy's amazing, though. He does like silicone work and lifelike full-size figures. Some of these figures are like 8-9 feet tall. And he had a Gillman skull. You can tell it was a Gillman. Looked freaking awesome, man. I thought, God damn, that is badass, man. Like, one day, I want to get to that level, man. That thing was freaking cool. There was one at Transworld last year. So I went to Transworld. I went to the Gemini company. And they have some pretty cool tribal stuff. They've had it for a lot of years, although some of that stuff I think is like way overpriced, like $900 for a freaking skull and it's all fake. Like, come on, man, that's a little reaching. But when I bought my Elephant Man head down here, they had a Gillman skull. And I thought, oh, shit. You know, it's like, what's the freaking chances they got both skulls? So I said, well, I got to get one. I can't get them both. But I saw the Gillman skull and I thought, man, you know, maybe one day I can make one. Well, then that Thomas Kubler, he makes one. And I didn't even want to see the price on that. It was probably $3,000 or something because most of his small pieces could be like $3,000. It was freaking cool though, man. It was all kind of yellowed and nasty, but that's one I would definitely like to take a chance at. Like, I love fish, man. I think Paul Hepner, he's a mask maker. He's got a badass fish, man. A head that's like a light lime green color. One of these days, I will have that mask. I just haven't had the money to put aside for it yet because I can only spend so much at a time, especially since fucking silicone's $300 for a bucket of it. But yeah, Paul Hepner, he's another guy. I love his fish, man. It's freaking awesome. The dude's an awesome mask maker. I just love watching everybody on YouTube or not YouTube, but on Facebook, they put their stuff up there, you know. Like Matt McNeil, he's another one. He does a lot of the Fright Night masks. The guy's just freaking badass, man. You know, his Fright Night Ed Wolf, and he does he's just finishing up the Chris Sarandon mask. The dude's just an awesome dude, awesome mask maker, freaking talented as hell. I love everything he does, how he explains everything. That dude's totally freaking rad, man. So I look forward to seeing his stuff, what he does on Facebook Lives and stuff. Because eventually I want to do some more masks. I want to do everything. I don't want to do strictly just masks and pigeonhole myself and be a mask maker. There's too much cool shit out there I want to build. I don't want to just do one thing. I want to do all of it because I'm greedy like that. Yeah. I think I got to do a little here and then a little more here. And this is like a bone color going on top of the white. And that's just colored clay is all it is. I had some black mixed in there from eye sockets from when I did my skull cap mask. Or it's actually like a resin helmet, basically. Then I would definitely want to put a peak. I want sort of like a raised peak in his head. Almost like a part line in his skull. But I want that heavy brown, that ridges and stuff. Yeah. And I definitely want pronounced eyes. I want deep eye sockets. And I'm going to texture this whole thing. But I don't want to go as heavy as Frankenstein, that my Gwyn head that I did. I want it to be a little smoother, more skull-like, you know. So I'm going to do some texture on this, but I want it to be more of a smoother skull, you know, since vampires aren't big, bulky creatures. They're more refined killing machines. So I want this skull to reflect that. I gotta put a little more over there. I think I do. I think I'm getting close. It's amazing how much you can do with just your fingers. I haven't really put any tools on this yet, other than whacking clay off of the bar and sticking it on here. Let me tuck this around the back. Get the back of that head. So now for this, I want this back here where your nape of the neck is right there. So I'm going to try and build that out in the back, and then I'll take a front look. Maybe we can start shaving this guy down tonight. And then hopefully I have this guy molded for MHC, so I can bring some with. Did you see Willem Dafoe is involved in another NOSFERATU? I did not see that. You know, Harry, it's funny, like, I think 3 months ago, I tried looking for, Curse of the Vampire with Willem Dafoe. Where it talks about the filming of NOSFERATU and Max Schreck and all that stuff when they came over from Germany. And they made it in California, but there was like a German director, German cast, and all that stuff. Great movie. It's old as hell. I think I saw it like in the 90s when it came out, I think. And it's not free or it's unavailable on, I have Netflix because I still VIX. It's not there. I have Amazon Prime. It's unavailable there, or you got to pay for it. It's like, why the hell are they going to make us pay for a movie that's like 30 years old or close to 30 years old? I hate that, man. Them greedy pricks. Because I've been wanting to see that again for a long time. I've watched the original. I got the original on my YouTube channel. I uploaded it just because I love it so much. But I've wanted to see that for so long. I'm just going to end up having to buy the damn DVD on Amazon. I just hate buying movies anymore because they just stack up and they collect dust and you only watch them once in a while. But just to have it because I love that movie, man. It's so freaking cool. Yeah, I gotta go out a little further because some of this is gonna come off down here. Yeah, I definitely want this to be like a bony protrusion skull. Okay, that's a lot better. I like that. Now I gotta flush out this side. Or bone out this side. And yeah, if you guys notice, I'm wearing my same shirt I was wearing 2 days ago for Hunter's Hangout. No, Wednesday? Yeah, it was a Wednesday show. Wearing my Hunter's Hangout shirt. Got to be a guest on Hunter's Hangout, which is freaking awesome. That was a bucket list deal for me, man, because I've been watching the Hangout for a long time. And freaking Diablo, I don't know how the hell he gets the guests he does, man. He gets John LaFlamboy on. He gets Michael Burnett on from Fright Night Studios. Just to be even considered, man, that's a freaking like bucket list for me, man. I'm a happy camper. I get to throw my name in the arena with those guys who are all freaking pros and people I respect. That's huge, man. I love it. Thank Diablo for that, for the opportunity, man. That's freaking awesome. Plus, I get to hang out with Vic and a bunch of vendor friends like Lanny and Beth and Blake and let's see, Quinn. Quinn was on last week, so such a freaking cool opportunity, man. Chad from Unsub Masks, he was showing his fly Project 86 last night. Looks freaking awesome. So I think everybody had a good show, man. It was such a cool show. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. So if you guys aren't on Hunter's Hangout, all you gotta do is message Diablo, go to the page and sign up. It takes him a minute to let people in because he'll let in like 1,000 people at a time. So just put your name in the arena and sign up, and eventually he'll put you through. Yeah, I love Hunter's Hangout, man. Such a great resource. And that's kind of what I do for like cobwebs, want people to be able to go to a place and ask questions about stuff and get answers or show their work and get some recognition, or if they're stuck on something, ask for ideas. Like, hell yeah, man, that's what it's all about, man. Everybody share and pass your ideas around. But I love seeing what you guys make too, man. That just fuels me to make more cooler shit, man. All right, I think now we're getting there, man. I'm probably gonna have to come down a little more. That's okay. All right. I really do want to do a South American skull too, like a stretch skull. They had one at Trans World. Again, Gemini Company. They had so many killer freaking skulls, man. Gemini Company did. With another skull on top, almost like a Thomas Kuehler version. Oh, it was freaking awesome, man. If I had had more money, I'd have been dangerous. Otherwise, I'd have never made it home. I'd have been broke in the freaking parking lot, begging for a Uber back to Indiana. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now it's kind of warming up a little bit. Okay, let's bulk out this ear side over here. And it actually doesn't take long, even though the clay is cold. It's been laying under my bed in a bin. Hell, like 20, 30 seconds in your hand, and it already starts to kind of soften up a little bit where it's malleable. So if you're using oil-based clay and it's cold, you can also put a heating pad down and then throw your bricks or your clay on the heating pad. By the time you pick it up, it'll be so soft. It was funny, Kim Prattley today put a comment on the Cobwebs page on Facebook saying he has the opposite problem, where my clay is freezing from sitting out in the car, or my sculptures were out there because I took it to work with me tonight. Everything he does is so damn hot in Australia, like Ezekiel, that his shit melts on him. So he's got to put it out in the damn fridge, pull his beer out. Right there. Yep. That's another reason why I'm kind of slacking on my videos, man. It's so freaking cold. It's like, man, it's hard to find enough time out there to film and make sure whatever I start that day is going to be cured for the next day to work on it again. Shadow of the Vampire, that's the one. 2000? Wow, was that really that damn long ago? Bill Skarsgård is Orlok this time around. It's not announced who Defoe will play. I saw that because they're talking about making that kid the Crow. That was the same kid from It, right, who played Pennywise. He was creepy as shit as Pennywise. He was amazing. But I'm absolutely pissed that they're going to go back and try to revisit The Crow. You know, I'm old school, man. 1993, when Brandon Lee died, I was waiting for that movie. I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan growing up. Samurai Sunday, all that shit, man. I loved Brandon Lee. I was in the theater when Rapid Fire came out. I watched that. Me and like 6 of my buddies and shit. When The Crow came out, or was going to come out, and then I got word that he died. My birthday's March 15th. I think his birthday is March 28th. I think he was almost 28 years old. Like, what a freaking waste, man. He was Bruce Lee's son. And it's funny, I went to a Comic-Con in, was it 2010 or 09 or 08 with a high school buddy of mine who I just lost after Trans World. And we went to the Comic-Con, and Ernie Hudson was there. So he had no line at his table, and it was funny, you know, I walk up and he's got all his pictures on the table and stuff. And I said, hey, Ernie, you know, nice to meet you. I said, what did I say? I said, I just want to know what it was like to work with Brandon Lee on The Crow. And he was like, I think he said something like, well, I wasn't expecting that. He goes, I thought I was going to, something about, you were going to ask about a Ghostbusters question or something like that. I said, man, fuck Ghostbusters, man. The Crow? Come on, man. But it was great. I got to talk to him for a couple minutes about The Crow. He said the kid was Brandon was just an amazing human being. He said he loved the kid, loved working with them. He was an amazing person. It's like, shit, man, what a freaking loss, man. And for them, even though as good as Bill Skarsgård is, I don't want them touching that movie, man, because they're just going to fuck it up. I don't, you know, I've read the comic book, the graphic novel. I've met Jim O'Barr. I've got Jim O'Barr's autograph on my Crow DVD. So I don't even watch it anymore because he signed it for me. I'm just picky about that shit. In fact, I've got a movie poster that I just saw today from the original Crow. It doesn't even say The Crow on it. It's an early shot of Brandon Lee sitting in the like gothic chair. The poster was big for long. It said it had a Crow logo on it and shit. Mine has none. It was in the comic shop before the movie even opened, like 4 or 5 months, like probably during pre-production or something like that. And I want to bring that bad boy out one day because when I get me like a movie room or like a cool sculpting shop or some shit, I'm going to put that in there, man. Maybe I'll show you guys that one day, or I'll do like a short of it or something like that and drag it out and dust it off and show you guys. It was just, I saw The Crow 5 times in the movie theater. I think I would go see that. My buddies would go see like the Basketball Diaries, or they would go see Forrest Gump, and I would go back and see The Crow again. I think I saw it 5 times in the theater, so the fact that they're going to try and repeat that again, I'm not a fucking fan, man, that's for sure. I feel like they're just taking that guy's name in vain. What's up, Cat? Didn't get any notifications. And then, so you guys have seen this Alec Baldwin thing. We're like, oh, we're going to charge Alec Baldwin with shooting that actor on that movie set, right? You know, I don't have anything against Alec Baldwin. But because of Brandon Lee dying, all the movie laws were changed. Brandon's mother, which is Bruce Lee's widow, and his sister had fought in Hollywood to change all the laws for gun because Brandon Lee was shot. Brandon Lee was murdered by that much. There was a squib in a bag of groceries, and he walks into the room, and Fun Boy, you know, pulls out the gun and he shoots him. The squib goes off in a thing. Well, the projectile came out of the gun. There was just a tiny fraction that little bullet fragment came under the paper bag he had him and cut him in the abdomen. It was right where your 2 nerves joined together, and he internally bled. That's what killed Brandon Lee on the set. After that happened, they destroyed the footage because they were filming when it actually happened. If it had been like a centimeter higher, he would have lived. If it had been a centimeter lower, he would have lived. It was a total fluke. All the laws changed for gun laws on sets, and for somebody to hand Alec Baldwin a gun and say, "Here, you know, here's your scene. Put this on." You cannot go after Alec Baldwin for that. He's a movie actor. He's not in part charge of the props. For them to have a real goddamn gun on set was fucking stupid. The director should be at fault for it. The prop master, everybody. They should be at fault for it. And they always say, like in movie sets, and I've asked some movie people about this, when you shoot a guy on a movie set, you know, like John Wick or something like that, you're never pointing the gun directly at somebody. Even if it's a fake gun, you're pointing away off to the side. So on camera, it looks like you're pointing at them. Like if I was pointing at NOSFERATU, I'm really not. I'm pointing over here to the side, or I'm pointing to it looks like I'm going to shoot him in the back of the head. I'm really shooting over here. You know, you don't ever point a gun, even at people, a prop gun, when you're on a movie set like that. So all the laws changed. How that guy got killed or that female cinematographer got killed on set, and they're trying to charge Alec Baldwin for it. Total utter bullshit, man. That's the movie's fault. What's up, brother Vic? Bruce Lee was on Saturdays for me back in the day. Kung Fu Theater on Philly stations. Harry, we had Samurai Sunday, man. So they would show like Game of Death sometimes, or The Big Boss, or they would show a cool old Bruce Lee flick. Maybe like some Sonny Chiba or something like that, you know. I loved Samurai Sunday as a kid, man. I'd be indoors on a Saturday watching it with like right after Svengoolie was on Saturdays. Samurai Sundays was Sundays, so I would watch that too. Yeah, I love watching Samurai Sundays. I think it was on channel 32, I think, for us here, which would have been like a Chicago station. Yeah, Samurai Sunday, man, I love that. I remember there being a movie where these guys were fighting on this big ass bamboo tower, and there were platforms, so you had to work your way to the top, and all the ladders to get up to the next platform were all like machetes and blades, so guys had to climb up on and grab the blades with their hands and step on them. So when you get to the next level, you were cutting your hands open, your feet open. It was totally badass. I was such a kid. I don't even know what the hell the name of that thing was. The movie, I just remember seeing those guys climb them ladders with their bloody hands and stepping on them samurai swords. I thought, man, that's badass, man. Don't know what the hell it is to this day, though, because I watched it when I was probably 7 years old, 6 years old. But Samurai Sunday was a shit, man. And then I got to bump his nose out. Let's go put some more clay on you, mister. I definitely want to give him a... I'm definitely going to come out way further. So you see this little skull. They got these little cute little ski jump nose. I want this guy to have like a hooked beak like NOSFERATU did. So I'm definitely going to bring this out way further. And I might bring his lips out a little bit more too. So we'll just pack up on here. So I got some to smash. Yeah, I definitely want to give him like a hooked nose, man. And I figure this way, down the road, if I want to make him into a normal skull or just a plain European vampire skull, I can grind this back. And when I make my Wolfman skull, I don't want to do a Lon Chaney skull, man. Because I'm just not a fan of Lon Chaney. Just big, dumb, stupid-looking Creighton face. So I think I want to make sort of like a long-nosed version, like a Luke Guru or something maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure yet. I'm going to make him a bottom jaw with an underbite, so I'll have to make it separately. Because you guys notice my Frankenstein one, I'm hoping that when I get done casting that thing, I can cut the lower jaw off and articulate it the way I kind of sculpted it. Hopefully I can separate the halves and either have it with jaw on or jaw off and move the jaw. Because I also made that jaw white as shit and heavy. Almost like who the hell's that guy from James Bond movies? He's got that big ass head, Richard something. He was in Happy Gilmore with the nail sticking out of his head. I love that guy's jaw. I just love people with big faces like Ron Perlman. He got a big ass face. And that's kind of what I had in mind when I was making that guy, you know? Whew. I put a lot of Edward James almost texture on his face too. What's up, costumes? Do you remember Guillotine of Death? I do not remember that, Harry. That does not ring a bell for me. A lot of what I was watching was in the probably very late 70s. Because I was born in 73. So most of my samurai movies that I was watching were probably filmed in the 60s, I bet. Cat says having the lights off in the cabinet and the different table covering has solved that light fluctuation problem from before. I don't think so, Cat. Jamie's like, kid, your lights are bouncing around and shit. I don't know if it's the white and it's blowing out the camera, because I can see my screen, my laptop, going. But I definitely kill the lights in the back just in case. I think it's just a shitty LED lighting in the house or something. I don't know what the fuck it is. I got my chandelier turned up max as it's on the dimmer. I got it maxed out, so I don't know. Either I'm going to need like a better streaming camera or something. I don't know. This technology shit. I'll just go through my phone and hopefully I can read enough comments through a little laptop that had Savage come make the internet for me. So I told Savage, come make the internet. Yeah, man. There we go. I'm kind of digging that. I'll smooth him out with my fingers. Give him a little finger weave. And I might bring his point up a little bit more. I kind of dig that. Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Everybody's freaking busy. It seems like it's like really quiet on the internet because like is like coming. So like Alan's not live streaming. Everybody's probably busy in their corners grinding away. I see little Brandy Beast making posts of her showing her mask and her last minute paints, and Jim from Evil Jays. Everybody's freaking grinding, man. Because like on Monday, hell, maybe even this weekend, people are gonna be loading in for Transworld next week. So that's pretty crazy, man. It's just been kind of like a quiet lull on the internet. So next weekend, so what, like, yeah, like a week from now, um, hell, by Thursday, videos should start popping up on YouTube, Transworld videos. So it's like, ooh, man, me and Ezekiel will be watching those. Like, did you see this? Did you see this? I'm like, God, look at this part, 25 minutes and 32 seconds. Look at this. So I'm hyped to sit my ass down next weekend and just watch YouTube videos all day of freaking Transworld, man. It's going to be freaking awesome. Even though I'm not there, it's still going to be cool. But I'm working on my MHC grind, so got to get it done. All right, man. Smooth this guy out. Give him that finger weave. I got too much mouth on here right now, but that's okay. Come on, Bubba. Gotta knock them jaws back. Yeah, I might even go up a little higher, man. Maybe I'll put that, maybe I'll go a little bit further back. I definitely want that pointed almost like Schlitzie the Pinhead a little bit, but not too crazy. But I definitely want him looking at deformed, crazy-ass NOSFERATU look. And then I find, like, once I get it, like, you know, kind of in a ballpark, if I'm not really sure about something or the shape of things, I like to take just like one of my scuff pads. I use these to sand down cars or paint jobs or rough stuff up so I can paint it. I like to just take this guy, man. You could take like an old SOS pad, or even when you buy them little sink sponges for like 10 or 5 in a package, or they're like orange, or no, they're yellow and they're like with the green scrubby side. You can use those and just kind of press it into your sculpture. It helps take some of those little fills in some of the little dents and stuff, and it kind of gives you like a little texture for your skull. And that way you're not burying fingerprints into it. And then you can kind of smash it in. Yeah, you can basically use anything for texture, man. I use wadded up napkins. I use all kinds of stuff. Oranges, avocados, I'll just roll it over there. I like using, I love these tools by David Quinn. So he's got this one's a little skull face, so he's pretty smooth. He's got an old man with a rough surface, so you just take and roll these guys in. So if you don't want to sand out of your, or you don't want to scrape off too much clay, you can just take this guy and it kind of blends everything in. So you can kind of see where you're at to get your general shapes. So these little rollers, man, and they're really like, I think, Quinn, you get 3 of them for $35 or something like that. So it's literally like, I don't know, $12 a piece or something like that, man. Worth every freaking penny. We'll just turn him around. I'll kind of ramp up his head with this a little bit. Yeah. Just to kind of see if I'm in the ballpark. He's pretty lopsided right there. I like this side better. It's taller. So we got to add some of this side. Yeah, I like that better. I don't want to be like pinheaded, like slanted head. I want to have a little bouffant kind of, where the skull is kind of flared out a little bit. Just like on this guy, just a little bit. Want the NOSFERATU to be flared out a little bit, not so much straight back. So we got to add a little more clay. Then by rolling it around with the little roller, push it around, kind of blend it in. Add some more here. All right. Let me see. Harry says, yes, Keith, you're probably watching the same stuff back. I was born in 72. Hell yeah, man. They had the good stuff back in the day. Samurai Sunday, Svengoolie, and all that stuff you were watching then was probably old as hell. It was probably already around for 15 years or so. We were just appreciating it like it was brand new back in the day. Oh, yeah, I like that. Almost like the Egyptian skulls, too, man, where a lot of them were, they ceremonially bound the heads and put points on them. I really like that. And there's just too much cool shit in the real world, man. Okay. Roll that down. A little more there. So I want this guy to have kind of an oversized skull because he shrinks back a little bit. I want it to be at least be human size. Because I hate, like, you ever notice, like, when you buy your skeletons from Home Depot, the skulls are like smaller than human. They're still like hell, it looks like they're almost miniature versions. That kind of irritates me unless you're going to bulk them out with some hair and stuff like that. Master of the Flying Guillotine. Man, I'll have to like Google that. I bet you they got clips from it, probably on YouTube somewhere. YouTube seems to have every freaking thing, man. What's up, Bree? Late to the party? How's it going? Just doing some freaking sculpting, trying to get ahead of my little NOSFERATU skull. I finished my Frankenstein, which I'm calling my Gwyn head, like Fred Gwynn from the Munsters. So I wanted to do a NOSFERATU skull. That's what I'm working on tonight. Been slapping some clay on the old mixing paint bucket I had from work. See, Boondock says, cool idea of doing a live of your designs from Northwest Indiana. Oh, you're from Northwest Indiana, Boons? Are you from Northwest Indiana too? Man, I gotta fill in back here. Yeah, I love the shape of it, man. I definitely want sort of like a warped, twisted skull. Almost maybe even asymmetrical. I don't know, because my Frankenstein skull, I made sure to make sure not to put everything equal on him. I wanted him sort of asymmetrical, like cheetahs. So if you guys don't know this, like in Africa, cheetahs aren't really considered great cats. They're still small cats because they don't roar. So they're not considered great cats like lions, tigers, and leopards. But a lot of them, because their numbers are so low in Africa, the inbreeding has made a lot of their skulls like asymmetrical as part of like inbreeding. So it's like, man, that's kind of sad, man, for freaking cheetahs. But I thought I would use that like in my Frankenstein because he's a guy of many parts. So I thought, you know what, man, I want to make sure his skull is asymmetrical. I wanted a big, huge, massive jaw on him. I'm really happy with him the way he turned out. I can't wait to get him cast and then do some patina on him and play with some neck bolt ideas and stuff. I think it's going to be freaking cool, man. Hopefully people dig them. I'll bring some to MHC, and if people want them, I'll have them there. If they don't want them, I'll take them home and put them on Etsy. Maybe like a little more over here. Yeah, it just seems like everybody's so busy for Trans World. It's like, you know, man, I'm going to jump on and get some work done tonight. A little dome. Yeah, it kind of smooths them out, man. I'm not really pressing hard. Sort of just using my hand to warm the clay a little bit when I'm not touching it. I don't care about fingerprints or anything right now. Yeah, it kind of blends all your clay together because you don't want to have these little cracks where air is going to get in there and it may sink later, you know. So you kind of want to cover that up. And that's what the raking it all down will do. It'll level everything out. But I like crazy ass cat. I definitely like where this is going. I want that shape. I know somebody was asking for like, Cowboys, where you buy your clay at? All this clay is Hobby Lobby. I go online, and when they have clay, because it seems like every week they're doing a sale on something, glass or the, what do you call it, the scrapbooking stuff. So I looked today, and they didn't have any sales on clay, but a lot of times they have like 40% off of clay. So usually in the store they don't have much in stock. So I'll go to look online, and I'll buy like the 4.5 pound bricks and get them for like, they're normally $20 in the store. Super Sculpey, I do a lot with Super Sculpey that I'm going to mold. That stuff's $20 a brick now, and I used to get that stuff for like 13 a brick, and then I would get like 40% off. Yeah, like 40% off a clay sale at Hobby Lobby, and I'd buy all of it. So now anymore, you got to go online to get the deals, and they just send it to your house. That's where I get my clay. When I'm done molding it, I can reuse it. You can throw it in a bag, drop it into a crock pot, melt it all down into a big brick, and just cut them up with a little knife or something. Ezekiel, it's kind of hit and miss. It depends on some things. I couldn't find 20T silicone for the longest time. I actually found some on Amazon today, but it was like $10 more than what I usually get it for. They're just price gouging, man. Everybody's freaking gouging. I mean, depending on what you want too. Like if you're into the exotic shit or whatever, it's hard to get anyways. Then yeah, you're gonna pay more. But like for me, so I'll buy resin in a gallon versus a little pint-sized trial size. So I spend more, but I buy, I'm buying more. It's easier to get the gallons than it is the pints. Sometimes the pints, they burn through them real fast and out of stock. But overall, it's not too bad. They just raise the price on everything. Like rigid foam is high, and people say, oh, how much is that going to be when it's done? Well, it's going to be like $100. $100? Like, what the hell that cost me to put in this damn thing? That type of deal. But most people are cool with it. They understand that supplies are up, and I don't try and get rich off my stuff. So, but it's getting better. But it's the same thing with like eggs. Eggs are $4 a dozen, over $4. They're price gouging. Or the people who really want stuff, they're just making you pay through the freaking nose for it. So we got to jack our prices up on stuff. Hell, the economy's still rough. I don't care what they say. Oh, there's no recession. Yeah, well, people are still having a hard time finding jobs and trying to get something to eat. So, all right, check him out. Smooth this out a little bit. I dig it. Okay, so that's sort of like my front skull. Go right back behind the eyes. Just smash that shit in. And flare it out. Maybe a little more. Need more curve on this side. It's like, man, look how far you can get with no tools. You're just using your hands. You ain't gotta have all kinds of fancy tools and stuff either. All right, let him face you guys. I'll smooth that in, bring that up there. Blend that in. On the top of his head. And we'll just give him a little comb over. This will help push the air out. So I'll give him a good little rolling. Try and get him as smooth as I can. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. And hell, I mean, the texture of these is like, look at it. Maybe this looks like a snowball. So just a simple little, you know, little pad for texture. Boom. It already looks like a rotten friggin' skull. And of course you can smooth it out with the torch or alcohol or turpenoid, which is what I usually use. Alright. We'll smash the clay. That one's kind of nubby. Okay, I'm digging that. Okay, I want those to be really inset. Those eyes to be like freaking tunnels. I won't even do one of these and make some eyeballs for them. Just poke some eyeballs in there. I think that'd be pretty creepy. Smooth this out, just like this side. Okay. Boom. What do you guys think? Look at that noggin. Look at that beautiful dome. Looks like Captain Picard from Star Trek. Yeah. Ooh, like a little low spot right there. Fill that in. Just stuff it in there. I'll feather it in. Okay, we just roll it out. Looks pretty symmetrical back here. Yeah.
A spider? That's cool.
All right. Check them out.
Like a spider heart. You open up, it's like a
Pretty
it's
cool.
Like a heart, and you do it like this. It looks like a spider. That's kind of like a cage lock.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking hideous.
That's
I'm
cool.
digging it. You guys
I
think?
couldn't do
I
it
know.
yet.
Thank you.
You don't say
I
no. You say
know.
thank you.
This is what it started out.
I got a little bit of clay left.
I'll do it.
Got that whole damn brick.
Can I take a sip?
No. No booze for you. Oh, I think I'll have to throw my big rakes out in the freaking garage. Oh well. Let's see that. Not that one. Yeah. Shit. I'll have to use this one. This one's not bad. I love my Kemper tools, but man, my big rakes are out in the garage. So, trying to find the biggest one I got. This one's soft. Try that.
I finally got into Hunter's Hangout.
Oh, Diablo let you in? Yay! Welcome to Hunter's Hangout, baby. April finally got into Hunter's Hangout.
That's
It
weird.
took a year.
It took a year. You and probably like 10,000 other people just got in. Like I said, Diablo lets in a lot of people at one time. love that noggin, man. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We just scrape them down. I should be doing all this stuff like a garbage bag. I should have like a whole sheet or something laid out. I'm sure I'm gonna have little clay freaking things, shavings everywhere. If I don't like something, I can just wad these up, add more back on.
I just did this.
Make sure the cats don't eat it. I'm just kind of just scuffing the surface, dragging the surface. Really no pressure, just sort of like ice skating.
That's old. I gotta keep that. What are you doing? Just leave it like that. What are you doing? Come on a second. It's not fluff, it's old.
I know how to fix it.
Oh, I set my other phone over there because I have to make an appointment.
1 second, I can fix it.
Let's go down
I can fix it.
Yeah, that's pretty damn close. I mean, it already feels kind of smooth. You say you can go back in and just touch it with your little sink sponge. Man, it already looks like friggin' bone.
No, don't write anything on the calendar, please. Not right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Put this in there.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Just take a look.
And I'll take this guy, a little clay hunk, and I'll just pick up all the little pieces. Of course, if I had a bag, I could just like do all the shavings to the center. This little board I'm on, I just made this guy at work with some leftover scraps of wood I had. And I put some mother's wheel wax on, aluminum wheel wax, so nothing really sticks to the wood. So if I'm doing resin or something on there and I spill something on it, I can either sand it off, or chances are it won't stick, or I can just re-wax it or whatever. Yeah, I love the shape of the head. I'm down for that. One sort of like an alien, creepy ass looking freaking NOSFERATU skull. Let's see, what are you drinking there? It looks refreshing. Brady, these are those Seagram's Italian ices. These are good. I think they come in the blue, which is really good. The red, and there's an orange. It's like I don't know what the hell the orange is, but they're blue, orange, and red. I think there's a white one too. I think it's pina colada.
No, this is mango.
Oh, mango. What's the
And
blue
then
one?
this is blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry. That's it. Yeah, they're freaking awesome. You freeze them, man, they're good.
This is what they look like.
Okay, she saw.
Well,
Harry says, Pete, you inspired me to sculpt some magnets, and I gave them out on my Halloween last year. And now I have them in my Etsy shop. Well, damn, Harry. Who is the hissing cat? Ezekiel can hear Badger. That's our punk-ass Badger cat. We call him Badger because he's white with like tan and black spots on him. He's an asshole.
Was he hissing?
He can hear. Ezekiel heard Badger hissing.
When?
Oh, probably 5 minutes ago when she walked near him.
he's scary.
No, he's a normal cat. He's afraid of you.
He's scary. He chased after me.
Hunted Werewolf says, great job, brother. I'm working on it, Hunted. I'm working on it. Harry, man, you should show your magnets and cobwebs, man. I want to see them. If you're making magnets, show them, man. And then list your Etsy shop down below. Don't ever be afraid. If you guys got websites or YouTube channels or whatever, you make shit on Instagram, you can always share your stuff on the cobwebs page group on Facebook, because that's what that's for. That's there for everybody to promote their shops, their websites, their videos, their social media. If they sell anything, your Etsy shops, your websites, your Shopifys, your Spotifys, that is a place for you to put your business out there, man. Let everybody see you, and then let people know what you make and what, your prices are, and if you can do custom work. If somebody says, hey, Harry, can you make me a purple magnet versus a blue one or a green one or some shit? You guys, don't ever be afraid to put your stuff on the Cobwebs page, because that's exactly what we made that for. Same as all the Trio of Terror groups. Those are all for self-promoting, because a lot of these group mods are just assholes. Come on, they're on a freaking God trip. They watch a Facebook group, so they play God. In the real world, sorry, you're on the same ground as I am. So we all are groups are for self-promotion. Like I said, Facebook, YouTube, but anything you do, if you're making something, man, put it up on Cobwebs and share it. Let people know your Etsy stores, your websites. Like I said, do your business there, man. Show everybody what you make. That's what it's all for. We're not shy about that. We don't need any. We're not trying to make a cut of your profit on anything. You can sell what you want. Just take care of your buyers. Because I'm not, if it gets stiff, it's not on me. It's on whoever you bought from. So kind of do your homework if you're buying from somebody. Yeah, that's what the group is all about, man. Or if you get stuck on a project, hey, what can I use to make this? Or, this product isn't working out for me. What might be an alternative? You can ask questions, you get answers. Like I said, it's a community. So you can get your answers there. You can most definitely self-promote there, too. I think that's everybody, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what Cobwebs group page is there for. Show your stuff, share your websites, your YouTube channels, whatever you're doing, show it to try and share it to everybody and get ahead, be seen, and get some views or get some traffic to your website. Or if you know somebody who's freaking cool, invite them to college. If they make something, if they do costuming or whatever, invite them into the group, man. If they're selling stupid couch cover sheets, we don't want them. Those guys keep on freaking sneaking in, those old Chinese scammers, trying to sell damn couch covers and stuff in the Cobwebs group. Like, why is this crap here? And they're not even creepy ones. If they had skulls on them or some shit, I'd probably let them in, but for the most part, no. They're just dumb. They're plain.
Hey, there he is right there.
Yeah, if you walk near him, he's going to hiss, and Ezekiel's going to hear him again. Send that cat to the freaking third world. That's where he needs to live.
Dad said to send that cat to the third world.
He probably last about 6 minutes there before Australia freaking killed him.
Back to Australia. And then he would even last 6 minutes there.
Yo, Ezekiel's cat brings poisonous spiders in the house and drops in the middle of the damn living room. See how Badger likes that. Well, he don't really go outside or anything like that. He's an indoor cat, but
he runs outside.
unless he wants to go roll around that damn cat mint, that's why.
When it's raining outside?
He don't care. If it's cold outside, he'll go outside. Yeah. With that Telly Savalas noggin. Alright. We'll clean up the clay. Like I said, I'm in no hurry to finish this guy. If it takes me 3 months, so be it. I don't care. I see some prop makers, they're just slamming out new stuff. Oh, new product. It looks like they spent about 5 minutes on it. For me, I don't care. I don't want to ever spend like half an hour sculpting a mask because I'm going to have too much time tied up into it. I don't care. If it takes me 47 hours to sculpt a mask, I'll spend the 47 hours on it until I'm happy. I'm not a fan of just working on something for so long and then saying, well, we got to mold it now because we're going to have too much time in it. We'll never get our money out of it. Then don't do what you do. Or get better at it so you can make quality stuff in a shorter amount of time. For me, I don't care. If it takes me 16, 20 hours to sculpt this guy, I don't care. I think I got like maybe 8 in my Frankenstein head, the Gwyn head. But always be about quality. Always try and up your game. Get out of your lane. Try new products. Try new things. The worst you could do is fail. You get back on the horse, do it again, come back harder and stronger, and make it better. It always helps to have a sounding board too. Another reason why the Cobwebs page exists on Facebook. So you come in and share your stuff, get answers, and get some love, man. Let people see what you're doing. Give them some ideas. Be some inspiration for somebody else.
I got a surprise.
I don't want hot sauce. But Harry, I'm going to see those magnets, man. Make sure you share them on the Cobwebs page. I want to see them.
You can see how I changed.
So I've got a couple. I got to mold all these guys that are here on the tray. And then I think that's going to be plenty for this year, unless I get inspired and I do a bunch more, which could happen. Sometimes I just get like a wild hair at my ass and it's like, oh man, I got like 4 new ideas for
Can
Why don't you go moonwalk your ass over there somewhere?
Can I show you my new design?
In the middle of a live stream?
Yeah.
No, you can wait.
What?
She wants to show me some new design in the middle of a live stream. I can't wait.
Because
Stuffed animal.
she's without a phone.
You know, read a book. That's what's called the internet when we were kids. You look at that dome. He's got the nice little peak. Whoop. I think I gotta start dipping in here or something. Is that a monkey?
Yes.
Hey, I was right. It is a monkey. You made it all with that yarn, that fat, thick yarn stuff, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There are millions. Who wants to buy them? $5.
Who bought you that yarn? That you're trying to sell for $5?
I'm just trying to make some money over here.
For what?
I don't know.
What would you buy with $5?
Go to Five Below.
Yeah, go to Five Below and blow it in about 6 seconds. Girl, it's like you had 6 cents, it would burn a hole in your pocket. You blow it in a freaking hour.
This is a cheetah.
That's pretty long for a cheetah.
I know.
You need to put some eyes in there and do some more work on them, girl.
I do put eyes on there. I don't
I
have...
can't see them. I think I got eyes in a drawer somewhere. Need to go find them and use them. What's up, Berlina?
Just let me know if you want them.
I seen your picture, Blaine. I'm glad you got the masks made it out to you. Did that red one still work, Berlina? The red one? The one I smashed with a hammer?
So, do you want my stuffed animal?
Yeah.
I'll give you a discount, $3.
Yeah, she Savage seen
Family
Quinn's
discount.
little
Yeah.
stuffies like a trans world, and
Yeah.
Quinn's wife Jen just ripped the price tag off and gave it to her. So Willow's like, oh, I'm gonna make some little stuffies of my own. So she's been buying thread and some other little animals to tear apart or whatever. That's one Jen gave you?
Yeah.
Jen makes those up. And then, of course, Quinn helps her.
Yeah.
All right. You gotta add some.
Did you run out of sour gummy worms?
He's probably still eating them.
Dang.
That man loves his sour candy. That's for damn sure. I think I definitely want to do broader nose.
She's pretty.
No.
Yeah, she is.
No.
A little more here. And Brother Vic's all grinding away in his garage, making all kinds of blood and stuff. Swamp boogers. What's up, Know Your Joe? What's up, Bill? Didn't try that one. I'll go check it real quick. Yeah, I told that company it's like the Venabat, whatever they are. Like, oh, our shatterproof lens. We always try to, we want honest feedback. And when she said shatterproof lens, I was like, yeah, we'll see about that, lady. You have no freaking idea. And she's like, oh, why you hit mask with hammer? I'm like, because you said the lens is shatterproof. What, you think I was not going to do that? Like, lady, you should have watched more of my channel before you come to me looking for a review on shit, because I break some shit.
Oh, baby.
Who buy 'em?
So do your homework, people, before you come contacting me.
For 5 days.
Better build strong shit.
Found in Remington.
When was
Alright.
that posted?
Today, 10 hours ago.
What happens if they
Yeah.
if
I'm gonna
past
do-
5 days?
Do a little more up
They
here.
don't?
Yeah, they do.
Build onto that.
No one adapts them to kill the shelter.
Like a little furrowed brow.
You do it.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man.
Where's Scary Gary at?
He's a trans
I think
world.
Scary Gary just made it to Trans World, but the doors were locked on him.
Yeah, see that.
He's like, Scary Gary's here, but nobody else is here yet. I have to let him in. He's like the mascot of Trans World. They can't have Trans World without Scary Gary. Come on now. Hope he got his fireball and he's staying warm.
Once again, last call, $5.
He's gonna be in.
$5.
He's gonna be in Blake's booth. Yeah, but Harry, make sure that you show your you put your link in your Etsy shop and then show people what you're making and stuff, man. I'd like to do a contest after this Hunters Hangout run is done. I got, I think, 10 weeks of shows. I'm thinking about doing like some kind of contest for cobwebs, not for YouTube. You know, again, like anytime I run a contest, like you guys don't ever have to subscribe. You don't even have to like. None of that shit. I don't beg people for liking or viewing or subscribing or any of that crap, you know. I thought about doing just one for the cobwebs people, for the people who are on cobwebs, some kind of magnet contest, like sculpt me your best little magnet, maybe a little palm-sized magnet out of clay, out of paper mache, out of whatever that you would make as a magnet. You don't even have to mold it. I was thinking, give me your best like magnet sculpting. If you were going to make a magnet, you would mold it. And I'll probably get like the Trio of Terror. I'll have Vic and Dave help judge. We'll take all the pictures. Everything can be in cobwebs. Your progress pictures. You know, if you want to ask questions, oh, what should I use? Should I use cosplay? Should I use Super Sculpey? Should I use, you know, oil-based clay? Whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. I'd like to run some kind of contest like that later on after my Hunters Hangout run is done. Just for the people who are on cobwebs and they share stuff and they sculpt. I know there's some sculptors in there, man, like Connor and Victor Valentine, and you know, there's a lot of people in there who's making cool stuff. Kim Prattley. It's like I like to give a chance for the people who don't really take to YouTube or watch that crap. It's just something for just strictly for the cobwebs group, for the people who are in the group and they share. You know, this doesn't always have to be about YouTube. I like seeing what everybody does outside of everywhere. You know, their websites, their pages. You know, just if they're building stuff for home, for their home haunt, I think would be cool. You know, but just something that's sort of like exclusive for just the cobwebs people. I thought that'd be kind of cool.
What's profit?
All right, where's my Kemper tool? Where can I find? Yeah. I gotta be better organized, man. I hate digging for freaking tools. I need a loop tool.
I know it's all about profit.
And once you get some profit, then you can put it back into making more stuff.
Yeah, so that's just my first design, but it's gonna go on and on. So if you just get it, like buy it, so that'll be good. $5.
You were here begging for $5, man. This ain't a damn thrift shop.
I wanted to go to one today, but you said that.
Tomorrow, everything's 50% off down the street.
Well, we'll go tomorrow. Go to the thrift shop tomorrow and see what we can destroy. Alright, I'm gonna start covering up behind this guy's eyes. I think I really almost kind of want to break through and I'll build a little tiny clay wall, because once these guys are poured, I want to be able to drill that out or grind that out with a die grinder so I have the actual holes for the jaw. So it kind of looks like a real skull at a glance, you know? I seen
Girl, yes, do it. You want to do something?
I don't know if you guys watch so on Instagram.
Housework.
He also has a YouTube channel. He's called Jack of the Dust. He makes all kinds of these cool skulls, like as mummies or as Darth Mauls or as Star Wars shit or whatever, you know. And the guy's freaking amazing, man. His not only his sculpting, but his molding. Like I wish he would slow it down because his Instagram posts are like, hell, I don't know, they're like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. They go so damn fast. It's like, man, this dude is an amazing freaking mold maker, man. But he has a YouTube channel. I'm prescribed to it, but I really haven't watched all that much. So I'm running around fucking all the time. But that guy, man, he makes really cool products. And all his skulls are like $400 a piece, and he has pre-sales, and they all sell out like in freaking 30 minutes. And you get to be invited to the pre-sale by going through his website or something like that. That dude's an amazing mold maker, man. It's freaking unreal. I like watching that guy work too, just how his mind thinks and how he sets up his molds and stuff like that.
Alright.
But he did a gorilla skull that was like really freaking cool. It was small for a silverback, but then again, he can't make a real one because it'd be like a $2,000 project when he went to sell them, you know?
Better not.
But I love watching Jack of the Dust work. That guy is freaking amazing, man. I love his zombie snail. That's kind of where I got the idea to make my little Death's Head snail. Was from that guy.
What?
So I got that carved in pretty good.
Learning and
I'm gonna go in deeper though. So I'm gonna do this side.
no.
Use my same little tool.
go off.
Yeah, it's all about making yourself better, man. It's like, and guys, I'm not even a sculptor. People are like, oh, look how much you made. I'm not a sculptor. I'm a freaking body man. I restore cars for a living.
Yeah, you gotta go.
No.
I'm sort of self-taught, and hell, clay is forgiving. Look at this. You just mash it up, start over, make something else.
Oh, baby.
I just kind of look at pictures and they're okay. I'm going to go in that direction and see how far I can push it.
I'm not dumb.
People are like, oh, I can't make anything. You know, it's like, oh, you'd be surprised, man. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Spider hair.
Yeah.
Can I be right back?
Then we'll go ahead and burn through these all the way through.
Well, go in your room. Go in your room.
And then I'll have to fill it back in with a really thin wall of clay. So that way when I mold these guys, I can just diagram right to that little thin wing or wall.
Just not right.
So I got that little bump there.
Okay, go. Because you stink really
I'm going
bad.
to take that down.
Go. Let me make it go
You
back.
just dig in little swipes so you start seeing your shape change.
You calm yourself.
Yeah, calm yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, dig it out, dig it out. NOSFERATU. Yeah, I'm sure as whole they hope that they do that NOSFERATU movie before they do another goddamn Crow remake. Because they'll have to fucking revolt, I swear to God. Take Brandon Lee's name in vain and his father's name in vain. I thought Rapid Fire, man. I love Rapid Fire was such a great freaking movie, man. Like, we were so jacked coming out of the theater. We were kung fu fighting and shit like that in the parking lot. That's such an awesome, underrated movie. I'm gonna have to sit down and watch it again pretty soon. But it's like Netflix, for all the crap they do have, they ain't got shit else. You try and watch a Jason movie from like 1985 and they ain't got it. Or they gotta rent it for $4. Like, why would I pay $4 to rent a movie that's 30 years old? No thanks, not gonna do it. Amazon Prime's the same damn way. That's cool, Bree. Oh, it does light up. Okay, cool, Berlina. Berlina, those masks still making those little high-pitched whining noises? Like, Ray Mitchell was telling me about some kind of like to switch the frequency step up for the I know I'm saying it wrong because I'm stupid. Voltage regulator has to go up in there or something like that, so it makes it a little tiny sound. Like it would drive me fucking nuts after wearing that thing for an hour. That was another thing I didn't like about the mask. I told them they need to change that because you can hear a high-pitched whine in the mask. Berlina says, how much do you sell those magnets for? It kind of changes, Berlina. So for like my bigger ones or a fully painted magnet, like my snowmans, I usually sell those for $15 because they're painted. I got different resin pieces in there. Most of my standard magnets that are either glow or they're a metallic color or they're a solid color, I usually do those at the shows for $10. I used to put them on Etsy. I had a bunch on Etsy because people were like, how is one magnets? And by the time I put a $12 magnet on Etsy, it was like $5 and something cents to send it. So I was really making only like $6 something, maybe $7 off a magnet if they didn't live in California. Because anytime I send something to California, it's like $1 more. For whatever reason, the post office doesn't like California. It's just weird. So the magnets I don't really do online anymore. Usually I do them as giveaways and stuff like that for people because I can stick 4 or 5 in an envelope and then shoot them out to them, you know. The shipping's not too bad. The shipping's only like $9 or $10. So I just didn't even bother listing them in my Etsy shop anymore because they really just weren't worth it. By the time I get an envelope and it just was more of a hassle for making small stuff. So sometimes somebody buys like something for me that's like $100 or $50, whatever. I usually throw in extra shit anyways. Like, you don't make anything off Etsy. The only reason I'm really on Etsy is because it's just really cheap advertising for my YouTube. I just put, trinkets made by cobwebs and candlesticks on YouTube. So It's basically just there for cheap advertising because it costs 20 cents to list any item. Anytime when you guys are watching Etsy, anytime you see any item on Etsy, every item, it's already sold. Etsy makes 20 cents off of every single listing. So every time somebody lists something on Etsy, Etsy makes 20 cents. And if it sells, they take your sales tax. So if it's a $1,000 item, they take whatever the sales tax is for your thing, they take that right out of your profit. And then you pay for shipping. You can buy their shipping label, but it's another scam. So you could buy a shipping label from them for $8, and it costs you $10 to ship something. So you just spent $18 to ship something, or you're supposedly made two back. A lot of times their shipping labels are off. So Kat, who has a long time Etsy store, said never buy their shipping labels. So the shipping is fucked on Etsy too, especially right now. Unless you have a scale on your own shipping app or whatever it is. Etsy creators, they get robbed. They get raped every time they sell something. So people looking at you, why is that so much? It's because we have to add in the price for taxes on top of the price of the item and the shipping. And that's not even including gas. If your post office is like 10 miles away on the other side of town and gas is $5 a gallon, or you had to go buy a cardboard box. I think I literally spent $200 on cardboard boxes last year to send shit around that my stuff fits in so it's not too big. Because if you're over like, I think 22 inches at the post office, they add $15 or $14 to the price of that package going out, which sucks. And all their little small crappy boxes, like the one I'm working on right now that I stole from the post office, because they're free, so I take their damn boxes. It's a minimum $10 to ship anything in one of their boxes across the United States. It doesn't matter. So like when I did for Steve Petronio, I put a bunch of bricks in the bottom of his for $20, the landscaping bricks with the skulls. It's like, yeah, take that post office, suck on that. Deliver that heavy ass box, my flat rate of $22 or whatever the hell it was. Oh shit! Thank God you're deaf on one side, Berlina, because if that one mass is going off, it's obnoxious as all hell. There you go. There's Ray right there. What's up, Ray? Yeah, it's a little whiny, pitchy, high pitch. I'm like, oh hell no. I told them people like, your little frequency, your high tone frequency, that's got to go, man. So that's freaking obnoxious. But their lens, to their credit, the lens didn't shatter. I told her, hey, your guys' lens held up to me. I hit it with a ball peen hammer, with solid steel head. So I said, you guys did good there, but they still fog up. All right, give me some playback. Go dig down that eye socket. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Trans World videos when they start popping up next weekend. I want to see what's there, man. I want to see who's making what they brought back, what didn't make it. See what the Dark Zone looks like. See if Scott Bibas ever made that damn zombie snail a new one for me. Guess I could hollow out the eyes some too. Now he's got that little South American like dome thing going on. I don't want to take too much out. I'll dig down deep so I have a little hollow. And I'm going to put the little nerve slots in these two in the bottom of your eye, so that helps sell the idea that it's like a real skull, that when eyeballs were in this head at one time. But yeah, shipping, man, it sucks being a small business owner. That's why I have to show for like M8C. Last year, I just did $10 on all my magnets, whether it was a glow magnet or a solid color. That way, like I was telling hunters, hang on, if you come to the show and you got $10 in your pocket, you can go home with something. That way, it's for everybody's budget, because last year was ridiculous with the gas prices. And I mean, even vending's expensive. You wouldn't think that, okay, so for a booth, for a day and a half, the people to walk through would be $700 for a 10-foot by 10-foot area. So people are like, oh, that's expensive, I'm not buying anything. You know, you gotta raise your prices because you gotta be able to pay for your spot there. So like me and Vic last year, I think we got 30 feet, we split it, and it cost us $1,100 a piece, or $1,050 a piece just for our booth rent. So your first $1,050 is out the window. You gave away $1,050 of free shit. And then our electric bill was $289 for the day. Well, technically for setup too, because I had to plug a bunch of lights in. The electric bill was $289. So by the time you do your hotel and everything like that, you're looking at $1,800 to vend for a day and a half show. Even though you're there on like Friday setting up and all that stuff. So, you know, it's crazy, man. So you can kind of like pick and choose your shows when you're a small company. You know, if you're like, you know, Distortions or something, they're set because, you know, they've already got stuff sold and coming to the show. So it's kind of tricky sometimes, man. It can suck, but, you know, that's the life of vending. You're making stuff. You got to be able to sell it to make your materials back. And materials nowadays, you know, like eggs, they just keep on jacking up the prices of that shit too, which sucks, man. That's right, the EL wire. That's right. Know your Joe. Bill, I'm using the Hobby Lobby Chavant clay. It's by Van Aken. It's the stuff you buy online. If you go on Hobby Lobby and type in ivory clay, the Van Aken clay will show up. It's made by Chavant. It's just called Van Aken, V-A-N, like a van, space A-K-E-N. It's right off the shelf of Hobby Lobby. I was saying earlier that I buy it online because sometimes they'll have sales, like once a month they have sales on clay at Hobby Lobby. So it's like 40% off all clays. So you can get your super sculpies there for like making teeth or for eyeballs or for small stuff that you want to bake in the oven. And then I'll go online and I'll buy the 4.5 pound bricks. They're normally $20 in the store. 1 pound of super sculpey is $20. The regular tan in like a Hobby Lobby. When it's 40% off, I'll go online and I'll buy the 4.5 pound blocks of clay for like 12 or 13 bucks a piece. So you're basically saving like $8, $7, and I'll buy like 30 or 40 pounds. That way I can put it back, and the colors don't matter. It's all medium clay. But this is all Hobby Lobby clay off the shelf. So that's what I use for making sculptures. So I don't have to rush about making it. Because like I was saying earlier, I'm not the guy who likes to rush and hurry up and try and make something and then make $1. Hey, let me slap some shit together with some latex dip towels and I'll make it a mask and I'll ask 90 bucks for it. I don't want the money that bad. I don't want to sell somebody some crap that looks like shit that I made up in 14 seconds and put it on the interweb so I will look cool like I had a new product, which is just horse shit. It's sort of a scam, which again, I don't like.
I didn't do that.
No, you didn't, so go. What did I have under the clay? Berlina, this is a standard mixing cup. It's a pint or a quart mixing cup that I mix paint in. It was laying behind my compressor and I picked it up and I'm like, hey, I'm going to use this to sculpt my next one on. Because Frankenstein, my Gwyn head, that's on a Kool-Aid pitcher. Because he's real tall. I wanted him to make him oversized and big. So like, I should have took a picture of a human-sized skull next to my Gwyn skull. Because my Gwyn skull is like, he's like this tall. So he's on a Kool-Aid pitcher. This guy is on a mixing pitcher. Okay, so silicone, whatever.
Ramen noodles.
What's up, Ray? Actually, Bree, you don't need the 40% coupons. Wait till they're 40% sales. It seems like Hobby Lobby runs every week, like some departments on sale, like 30 or 40% off. Like sometimes it's the what do you call it? The scrap-looking trash. Sometimes it's clay. Sometimes it's the glass where you want to make your apothecary jars. Dave will go up there and load up on glass when it's like 40% off. Sometimes it's 50% off. Sometimes the little wooden products are 40 or 50% off. That's the time you just look because they have weekly sales. So like seems like once a month, clay is on sale 40% off. And then like next week, glass will be off. And then next week, the scrapbook stuff will be off. Or the spring shop stuff will be like 40 or 60% off or whatever it is. That's the time I like to go up there and buy, so you're never paying full price for something. Because I hate giving the people full price. I want to buy my shit on sale.
Silicone. Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, Vic's truck died on that trip. That sucked. But he's fixed up now, so hopefully he does good at Fair Expo so he can make it to M8C with me. And that's the fun thing, like they were saying about Trans World, yeah, you go there to sell and, show your product and stuff, but you're there to see everybody too and hang out and say hi and catch up and see what everybody's working on and, that's the fun part,
I got blue hair.
Okay, good for you. That's the fun part. You get to go have breakfast like Rob O'Brien and Lanny and Beth and Quinn and his wife and You know, Chad Smith will be there for unsub mass, so you basically get to go see all your friends. It's just a big weekend to hang out, and then you see some Halloween stuff too. So, but as a maker, it's like, yeah, you know, if you want to get to that next level, then you got to show your stuff. People got to see you, so it helps to vend too. Come here, fathead. Squeeze your temples in. Ooh wee. Yeah. Damn.
Just let me know when you want to go.
Like,
You want that nice and deep. Alright.
I put them in my closet. Where you belong.
books.
So no better tool than your fingers. You don't need all kinds of fancy sculpting tools. I'm going to cut down. I'm going to cut in some more and get under these zygomatic arches. Squeeze that down.
I do.
And then hopefully this thing doesn't mold too damn hard, man. I have to put them low. That's why I put them on a mixing cup Berlina, so he's closer to the ground. That way I'm not wasting a bunch of silicone. The less I have showing, the better. The more cup I have showing, that's just going to be wasted silicone. So I'm going to try and do this guy as close to the cup as I can. And the rest of this, like hollow space, it'll just be a negative space. I'm going to try not to fill it up with foam, because I'll end up having to grind all that away when I take him out of the mold to
Yes.
to dress them up and do the dremeling and all that stuff.
Papa.
I think I need to bring his. I want to bring his mouth forward some. Like that's not bad, but I think I need to bring his lips out some. So I want to put them teeth. Like I said, I'll make those out of Sculpey. I don't want no teeth.
You gotta try it.
I don't want to. I've already had it before. I don't really care for it.
Nope, you're gonna try this one.
No, I'm not. No, I know, because I'm 50 and I said no. Yeah, and then like the easiest way, I tell you like the easiest way to do your teeth, oh man, pre-make your teeth. Roll out a bunch of different sizes. Just roll them out of Super Sculpey, throw them in the oven. You take your little
These are not enjoyable.
tools, you know, you can make your little chips or whatever your little lines and indentations or cracks or chips. The best way to get gnarly ass teeth, I think I've got like 2 sculpting videos where I did teeth. You know, you make your teeth, you roll them out in Super Sculpey, you take a piece of balled up foil, and then you just go ahead and roll it on top of your tooth. Man, that makes some gnarly ass dents and scratches and some damage, you know. It's like, you can't beat it, and it's just balled up tin foil. So when you go to put a stain in that, like an ink stain, because paint's real heavy, so a lot of times I'll do like a base coat, and then I'll go in with stains. Or if I'm doing something in Super Sculpey and I want to see the details, I'll just stain it so I can see what the hell it looks like before I mold it. Man, tin foil, throw them in the oven, and then once they're baked, they're hardened, you can take it and poke it in to your gum. That way you know your tooth is going to fit that socket. And you just number your tooth or label your teeth, whatever. You know, so once your tooth comes out of the oven, you stab it up in there, and then bam, you got your tooth. All you gotta do is mold it, and then you know it'll fit back up in there afterwards. That's how I did my big ass clay face. I made his teeth first, when I was getting close to finishing his mouth, and then I just plugged them in, and I knew all the teeth were gonna fit in their slots exactly where they had to go like a real tooth would. So that works out good with tinfoil. I don't want that crap. I've already had it before. I don't care for it. I don't want it. I'm not a sweet tea person. I don't live in North Carolina. I got Pepsi. That's what I drink. Oh man, I got a hole back here. What the hell? Do that. Yeah, I love making teeth, man. I don't know why. A lot of people struggle with them. I can't make ears for shit.
You done with this?
Yes, please. With some teeth, well, I'll be making some choppers. Especially out of Super Sculpey, man, you can just pound them out. You can make a whole bunch at one time, throw them in a Ziploc baggie. Bam, you got teeth for days, man, for projects forever. I want to bring his eye sockets out a little bit. They're really kind of narrow and in line with the skull. I want those suckers to flare out so he's got them deep ass dents like rigid bone. And then I'll change his eye shape when I get around to it. But yeah, I'm gonna see them knobs sticking out from the side like, yep, that's what we want. Like I said, I'm in no hurry to finish this guy. If it takes me 6 months to finish him, so be it. But I never try and rush anything. I always try and look at it. I'm not in a hurry to, okay, I need 47 new products for MHC. I'm going to crank some shit out and just throw some stuff at people and see what they buy. Why the hell would you waste materials like that? Why would you waste time like that? And then why would you make trash to sell to people like that?
No.
No.
You want Pepsi?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. He doesn't want Pepsi either.
Yeah, you can totally do it on foam, on pink board, or pink foam, on blue foam. And you can hit it with a heat gun. I really don't do the water thing that Van Oak's been doing for years. I like to use a paintbrush, man. You can take an old paintbrush, or the best trick that I like to do for like making a big panel. Let's say you're gonna buy like Menards has the foam panels that are like 2 foot by 2 foot. If you're gonna use those as a base for something, I like to take an old paint roller, like a latex paint roller you painted your wall with, like a 3/8 snap. Let it dry out and harden. So you take your roller off the thing, set it on a brick or on a piece of paper or wax paper or something like that. Let your roller dry and fully harden. Put it aside. So by the time it's all hardened and dried and crusty and fucking nasty and it's like bristles, you put that back on your roller and you just roll it over a sheet of foam. And you can do an 8-foot sheet of foam in probably 20 seconds. Blah, 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 blah. You just hog that sumbitch out and then turn your heat gun on it. Bam, you just did a whole freaking 8-foot panel in 20 seconds. You can do a wall like in 10 minutes. So you keep your latex house roller when you're done. Because if you notice, so everyone's like, oh, how come you use exterior paint versus interior paint? Can't use exterior paint on the outside. Exterior paint has some flex in it. It's softer than interior paint. Interior paint dries hard as shit. That's why your paint rollers are all freaking hard as hell, and they're like you stab yourself in the hand, like they almost peel flesh off your hand. So it's always best that, like, if you're painting a wall or something inside your home, or if you just want to have a cool distressing tool, hey man, use some old paint, roll it out, and then let that sumbitch dry. Throw it in a bag or leave it on the roller, leave it all crusty and nasty, put it on a shelf in your garage. Who cares how dirty and filthy it is? But you could lay some shit out, man. All those little nubbins and little sticky points will bite right down into foam, and you can pre-carve your wall, carve your spaces in between your stones, and then roll that sucker out with the paintbrush. Boom, you're done. If you want to go deeper, hit it again, heat gun some more. You know, that's a super fast way to cover massive amounts of ground. It's even better than foil on the big stuff. But for small stuff, the foil is great because it's, you can crinkle it up and then kind of roll it around. And if you don't like something, you can smooth it back out with your finger. Or a lot of times, so when I was working on Frankenstein, so I'm pretty smooth up here, right here. I'll take, where's that brush at? There's my little jacked up troll head looking brush. Can't see it because it's probably in front of my face. Where the hell's my little jacked up brush at?
These are different. When you suck on them, the thing goes in like that.
Well, this is not the one.
It's not the design. It's like you have face on it, and now when you suck on it, this goes in.
This guy right here. Here's my bitch. Okay. So this guy right here is he's a stiff bristle brush. He's a cheapie. What is this? It's an artist loft, so I think that's like Michael's or something. So this guy was just a regular paintbrush at one time, but he's got stiff bristles. So I could take this guy and just dab it around. On soft clay, man, you can make such a cool texture that looks like skin. I saw Jordu, because Jordu is fucking amazing. Let's face it, Jordu is a goddamn animal. Yeah, that guy can sculpt and lay textures down. I saw him take an acid brush. That's why I use a lot in work to smooth out caulk and all this stuff in my job, restoring cars. And he cut it at an angle, and he took a brush, and he was just like, okay, when he's doing like an alien or something, he doesn't want to give a smooth texture. He wants to give just some kind of general texture. Get yourself an old stiff brush, or even a brush that you painted latex paint with. Like I have a couple brushes in the garage. Like if you're doing hair work, once you use a paintbrush, all your bristles are down, they're dried out. You can do your hair work, and then you can just drag those across your sculpt a couple of times, and it'll give you like little waves that almost look like a little hair. And then you can go back in with like silicone shapers and put bigger waves in there. But just using one little dedicated brush, that's a stiff bristle brush, you can put the coolest texture in, and it kind of makes it look pitted like bone. And then if you want, because this is oil-based clay, I can smooth this out with my little blowtorch, and it'll leave like little pits and creaks. Looks just like a freaking skull, man. Or if you're doing a mask, you want a guy with a Edward James almost face, you just stab the shit out of that freaking thing in the cheeks, you know, so it's all gnarly and nasty. But yeah, I think it gives an awesome freaking texture, man. I don't know if I can get you guys on the camera like that, but you just stab in and check that guy out. And
Yeah,
the base already looks like pitted bone. And you just got one little crappy toothbrush. And you can also do this with like a say a 2-inch like a throwaway brush, a 2-inch chip brush. Cut it down to where it's short. So if you're this long, cut it down to like maybe by a third, down to 1/3. And you can use that for like a bigger sculpt. Say you're doing a whole mask or something like that. You can just touch it with your brush and bam, you know, made yourself a tool. Or you can do your tin foil, you know, roll your tin foil over. And let's say it's too much for you. Well, you can either put a torch on it, it's rough, or you just go back and then you soften it up with your stiff bristle brush. So again, you don't really have to have super expensive sculpting tools, man. Like, you can get by with cheap stuff and still have an amazing look. Like, look at the top of that guy's noggin right there.
Yeah. Do it.
And if I hit that with a torch, it'll gloss over and smooth, and then when it hardens up and the paint or when the clay kind of sets up, because like right now it's pretty soft. It's still cold, but I think it's malleable. If y'all let this sit for a couple days where I haven't touched it or messed with it, it'll firm up. And you can go back in and carve your little scars, not scars, your growth plates. That's the hardest goddamn thing making a skull, man. The growth plates, trying to make the little squiggly lines and the clay humps up and you're trying to scrape that shit back. That is a pain in the ass, man. So guys who carve skulls, my hat's off to you. That is the hardest part of making a freaking skull is the goddamn growth plate lines, the separation lines. That shit sucks making. With the dried roller, oh yeah, Bill. You can do whole walls, like whole foam walls. If you use 1-inch foam and you're skinning 4x8 panels, pre-carve your stones where you want them, dig out your grout lines, and then just use a roller, an old paint roller that you've already used that's caked up with interior paint, because that stuff's hard. Exterior paint, yeah, it's made for outside, but it's soft, so it has a little bit more flex to it. But an interior paint roller, boy, you can destroy some stuff with that, man. Oh yeah, dried roller. You know, it's the same principle as my Quinn tool. So like I said, David Quinn makes and sells these. It's the same thing. There's 3 different textures. They come in a set. So the skull is a really smooth one because it's skull. The old man is the really roughest texture. I think I have my other guys out in the garage. But it's the same principle. So you're basically have a pre-textured thing, and you're putting this into your foam, and you're making a pattern into it. So it works freaking great, man. And you can make your own ones. Like, I've taken orange skins, and I've clayed them down on the table, and then I've poured silicone over them, so I have my own texture pads with like an orange skin. I found this thing at Hobby Lobby. It's freaking awesome, man. It's a paint. No, it's a paper thing where it's like a clamshell, and it's like 6 inches by or 4 inches by like I don't know 8 or 9 inches long. And you put paper in there, and then you roll it through a little crank machine, and it makes an indentation in your paper, like a little clamshell. I thought they looked like lizard skin, and I thought, man, I'm gonna make a silicone mold of this. I can use this as a stamp to put onto like a lizard thing or maybe a mask or something like that. So you guys can get texture from anywhere, man. Like I said, an old sink sponge, where that little piece of crap go. This little guy right here, you know, this gives you a great skin texture. You can use smoother ones because this one's made for, if you scratch a car up with this, you got to put new clear coat on it or you got to put paint down because you can't clear over the scratches from this. But the gray ones are softer, so your softer sponges, man, you can lay down awesome freaking texture. Just that little area right there, it takes your fingerprints out. And if you want to do like little divots and dents, you just poke your finger in it where it's nice and soft. Like you could actually even sculpt this. Like if you're trying to make ridges in your bone or you're going in between like wrinkles and skin, you just take this guy and jam it in there. Use the line out of it. Works freaking great, man. But oh yeah, an old paint roller, man. Save that for outside. I'm going to go ahead and cut that out if I can. No, I'm not going to be able to do that because that's way too much. Alright, I got to shave the side.
I have a question about, let's say you had divorce.
Okay.
Let's say you had divorce.
There's our little skull. So as you can see,
Dad, but like.
got your little arch right there.
His other ex, Tristan's mom. Does she any of this stuff?
I gotta take a lot of that out.
I should have stopped asking questions.
And I get to save that clay back for myself.
Huh?
I should have stopped asking questions.
Oh.
Yeah, tool wise, these are Kemper tools. They usually have a dark handle. I really like Kemper. Not that anybody else makes bad tools, but these just feel good in my hand. I like wooden tools.
Yes.
And I think I got these on
Because
Amazon. So if you search in Kemper tools on Amazon, Kemper, they make a lot of nice tools, man, for pretty fairly reasonable. Of course, you don't run out and buy 6,000 tools at one time. You can buy one here, two there, or a small set at a time. I think I've already broke a tool because I get aggressive doing this.
Can I keep it?
No.
Oh.
I reuse broken tools because I'll make them into something else. Tell you another thing I really found that was cool. So sometimes I get a little heavy-handed, like on my Amazon tools. These are just like a silicone shaper that's like a, I don't even know who the hell makes it. But that little broken off end there, how it's really jagged. So on my Frankenstein head that I did, I was taking that like for some of the pitted areas, like when bone gets thin, or when you put it in, when you boil it and you put it in peroxide too long, it tends to get porous. So I like to take this and like right around the ridge or something like that. This is almost like the foil effect, but it's more pinpoint. So you can make a blob, or you can make a small area, or you can go just on the tip of an eyebrow, or a bone, or a crack, and then dab those guys in. And man, you can go deeper if you want, like in your chin where the nerve holes go in. Of course, this guy's gonna be jawless on the bottom. I'm only doing the top half for this guy, where Frankenstein has that big wide jaw, my Gwyn head. And then Wolfman will have a big ass underbite too. But for this guy, I wanted to make no bottom jaw. He'll only have the top teeth. So I can put some on spears. I can do some like in a display case, you know, for like a monster museum or whatever. Vic has shown me a cool picture years ago of a skull with a big ass, like foot long metal spike through it hanging on a chain. So, well, that would be kind of cool if I could make one of those and just hang it by a chain from the ceiling or something like that. I think the little kids that come around for Halloween really trip out on that and think that was cool. So, I'm always just trying to think ahead of stuff that, you know, what else could I do that would be cool and different that I haven't seen before? Or what can I do better than somebody else, you know? So I'm going to dig these out. I'm going to definitely have some room back there for his back jaw. Okay. So I'm just cutting down under his eye arches. That's actually pretty high, man. That one I took a lot out of. Alright, what is it? Wow, it's like 9:58. That's almost like 2 hours I've been on, huh? Does it say somewhere how long I've been on? 1:59 or 1 something? Shit. Well, I'm gonna let this guy sit for tomorrow. I'll probably go at him again. But yeah, overall, man, like, simple sculpting, man. You guys, if I can do this, man, you guys can do this shit, man. Look at this. Get yourself a mixing cup or a glass or an old jar. What I tend to like to do is find an object that is cylindrical, because when you want to mold this thing, all you gotta do is flip it over and fill your jar or your cup or your coffee mug or whatever you're using, or your Kool-Aid pitcher, fill it with hot water. Let it sit for a couple of minutes and it'll get warm. It'll heat the clay up, and then you can slide your pitcher out, and then all your clay, you'll be able to collapse all your clay in on itself to get it out of a mold. Especially if like you're doing a stone mold or something like that. So I try and do something with a pretty big base that I can easily get the cup out of. You save some clay so it's not so heavy, but then a cylindrical shape so you can easily get it out of there and then smash your clay in to get it out of your mold. So that's another thing I try and look for when I'm using stuff to sculpt on, versus like starting with a Like I think Chad Smith said he starts with a softball sometimes. He'll put it on a pole, and then he'll start sculpting around it. That's gotta be a pain in the ass to get out of the mold. So always try and look for a cup or something like that. That's wide open at the bottom. That's about as closest to my biggest bottom point as it can be. So it's easy to come out and fill with hot water. It'll slide right out of there. Then I can collapse the rest of the clay down and then make something else with it. What's up, Frady? What's up, 13? Yeah, I actually jumped on late. That was like 8 o'clock or something like that. We were home early from the night job, so it's like, well, hell, let's jump on and we'll do a little bit of sculpting. I want to work on this guy. I got him a whole lot closer. I'll probably work on him tomorrow. I don't know if I'll live stream on him. I'll probably just hammer down on him. But so overall, I think he'll be a pretty good match with my Frankenstein skull. Get these guys poured up, hopefully before M8C, so I can bring some new stuff to the show. But yeah, man, simple sculpting tricks, man. Like I said, you guys don't have to spend $1 million on tools. You don't have to be special. I'm not special. I'll use what I can find around the house, you know. And clay, like I said, cheapest place to get it, oil clay. You know, you can use wet clay, that's fine, but you got to work fast. So if you're good, which I'm not good, I'm not fast. I'm picky about what I put out. I'm not in a hurry to do anything. So like I can leave this guy right now, throw him in the garage. I'll throw a bag over him just to keep the dust off him. And I can come back 3 months from now, 5 months from now, 10 months from now. He'll look the same where wet clay dries out. Is it more expensive? Absolutely, which is why I try and get it on sale. So I'm not paying $20 for a 4.5 pound brick. I'm paying like $12 by getting it on sale at Hobby Lobby. And it's oil based. It kind of makes your hands feel good. At least for me. So, because my hands are always filthy from work with paints and stuff like that. But man, like you can see, you hold it in your hand for a minute and it's butter soft. You can pinch off a piece, stick it on, smooth it off, use your texturing tool on it, and bam, you're good to go. So, all right, put this guy away for now. Check over comments, and then I'll jump off and let you guys go chill out for the night. I gotta take a shower and wash my hands. I'm gonna change my Haunters Hangout shirt too. I've been wearing it for 2 days. All right. Oh yeah, Harry. Like I said, this is a 3M product. I use a lot of 3M stuff in my shop. The red ones are the ones that are more aggressive. So like think if you're using the red ones and you scuff like a paint job or glass or dishes or something like that or a car, you're gonna be seeing red, which means you're mad. It means you gotta put paint down to cover these scratches and then re-clear something. The gray ones, the gray Scotch Brites, which are like 77047, I think is their part number if I remember right. 77047 by 3M. The gray ones, less texture, so you won't have as much as a heavy pattern on there. But man, these guys are freaking awesome. I use them for all my props, or if I'm sanding or gonna paint something. Like I said, always follow the rule of ass. Always sand shiny. Never paint anything shiny because your paint will flake off. It'll pop off afterwards. But the Scotch Brites are awesome. Like I said, you don't even have to go to use 3M products. You can use an old dish sink and look in the cleaning section at your dollar store or Menards or your home improvement store. You buy kitchen sponges. Save your old ones. Use your old kitchen sponges. Those work too because they're already knocked down some. So you can have a new one for aggressive detail. You can use an old one for softer detail. You just carried the Cyclops head on the plane back to Indy? Oh my God. What did they say on the plane? Somebody just told me yesterday on Haunters Hangout, was that yesterday? No, that was Wednesday. That they bought one of my tiki torches and they took it to the airport, getting on a plane, and the guy said it was a walking stick and he was fighting with security. He's like, no, that's not a walking stick. He's like, I need this to walk. I need this to get on the damn plane. You want to take the tiki on the freaking plane. It's like, man, I can imagine that happening. That's funny as hell, man. Good to know. I've never used a gray Scotch Brite. Yep, Harry, if you type in the red Scotch Brites on like Amazon or any auto body supply shop, you'll see the red ones and the gray ones. The red ones are way more aggressive. Some are red, you're seeing red. The gray ones are a lot lighter. But they both do great. I use them all for different things like at work and for my projects and even for my sculpts and stuff too. I'll use anything I can find on a sculpt. You know, you can wad up, you know, a plastic baggie, you know, and put it up and make a cool texture on something where it looks like wavy or whatever, like there's indentations in the skull or mutations or something, you know. So you can literally use anything as a freaking texture pad. Like I said, you can get an orange or an avocado and roll it across your sculpt. Shoot, man, you can use anything, man. I love it. Sort of like being like the backyard sculptor. It's like whatever you can find. Rocks. You can put pits in with rocks. Like I think it was Jack of the Dust used a rock where he did a gorilla sculpt that was really beautiful. And for over that the brow ridge, I think he took a piece of porous rock or something like that and just kind of touched it and put just enough holes in it. Really cool. I just love watching that guy. I'll watch anybody make anything. I don't really care. That's cool, man. I'm doing an albino one that I think I'm gonna keep for myself because I don't have a master for the Cyclops yet. My plan was to maybe fill the mold up with clay again once it gets worn out, and then re-sculpt them and cut some more details in them or do them a little bit differently. I don't know, but I think I gotta just pour myself a master and then put it away. We'll see, but I want to do a big my version of a Yeti yet, so I want to make that one a big ass oversized head too that I can pour in rigid foam. I like using the rigid foam. A lot of guys like, oh, Kyle, why don't you be using like a soft foam? Soft foam is soft. It sucks. I mean, yeah, it's great for a latex head, but for me as a home hunter, I put it outside. You guys, my zombie snail's gonna come. It's gonna look like my zombie snail. It's gonna come apart and crack. So I'm not really big on putting latex stuff outside in the sun, the ice, the snow, the rain, all the crap that comes with it here in Northwest Indiana. So I tend to do like my stuff in rigid foam so it can stay outside. The weather can beat on it. I don't care. And then if I got to repaint it in a couple of years because it gets faded or gets beat up a little bit or the birds peck holes in it or the squirrels chew on it, I'm fine with that. It don't matter to me. Well, that's cool. Everybody loves the Cyclops. I know they're not really popular, but I kind of like making the unpopular stuff, you know. So if everybody digs it, hey, that's cool. And if not, yeah, that's cool too. But I hate, always just following the mainstream. Any chance you get to go against the grain, do it. I think that's what gets you noticed. I think people take a second look at you and they keep you in mind. So always go against the grain if you can. Never do the popular stuff. But yeah, thanks for so far. I got him a little bit further along. I'm gonna build some ridges a little more, shape his eyes. I need to bring his nose out. So tomorrow I'll probably work on him some more. I love the shape of his head. It's almost like a double skull. He's got that high point in his head like NOSFERATU. And then I gotta make some teeth. Maybe I'll make teeth tomorrow. I'll make a couple different sets. When I get down around his mouth, I can start playing with those and see how those look. Because like I said, I'll pour those up in resin separately. And then, like I said, the fastest way to mold something, guys, this is a cutting board from General Dollar or Family Dollar. It's a $5 cutting board. One side smooth, one side has that rough rainwater texture. But I just mask off a little section, like here on the top where the teeth are. I mask off a section. I hit it with spray glue, Super 77, let it tack up for 10 minutes, and then I press my parts down. And then I can go ahead and build a clay mold wall around this, pour my silicone in, and I've got a perfectly flat surface where you don't want silicone getting in behind your sculpt because you'll just end up wasting it and have to trim it off. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mold these guys. Everything's all basically set up to do a mold wall around them and pour some silicone in. And it's just a $6 board. And once I'm done, I can take a heat gun. I'll put a heat gun on the bottom of this and warm it up. It'll soften the glue. I can pull my original sculpts up and save them and put them away, or I can make another mold with them. And then I can take a razor blade and scrape off the glue and some steel wool and have a brand new clean board again to reuse as another mold board, put something on there, or even sculpt on it. So, man, a $6 Family Dollar or Dollar General glass cutting board goes a long way, man. It's a great tool to have that's cheap, that's smooth, it's square, you can sculpt on it, you can mold on it, and do all your work on one surface. So, another tip for you guys. So, all right, I'm going to put this guy away. I'm glad we got to hang out tonight. Glad you guys jumped on and hang out with me for a little bit. Good night to everybody. Good night, Bill. Good night, Frady. Good night, John. 13. Good night, Harry. Good night, Berlina, if you're still on. Yeah, Vic's truck did die. He's up and running again, though. But yeah, got some work done on NOSFERATU tonight. And I'm looking forward to cranking out on him a little bit this weekend, too. So, you guys just keep paying attention to the Cobwebs page on Facebook, and I'll show my progress on them like always when I'm working on something. So, all right, guys, I will see you next time. Good night to all, and thanks for hanging out. I'll see y'all later.